This is page 3 of your trig ratios packet, and the first question that it asks is, what is trigonometry? Well, trigonometry is the study of the relationship between the sides and angles of a triangle. Now, we just finished talking about how sine is the ratio of the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Cosine is the ratio of the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And tangent is the ratio of the opposite over the adjacent. So that's where we get the O over H from, the A over H, and the O over A. And once again, that is called, well, the acronym is called SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA helps us decide which one we should use. So the sine of an angle is the ratio of the opposite over the hypotenuse. The cosine of an angle is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And the tangent of an angle is the opposite over the adjacent. So coming down here to the examples, if we look at the triangle, the side across from the right angle is always the hypotenuse. That never changes. So I'm just going to go ahead and label all the hypotenuses. It is the side across from the right angle. Now the opposite and adjacent sides change depending on what angle you're looking at. So if I'm looking at angle A, the side across from the angle is our opposite side, and the side next to the angle is the adjacent side. So the sine of A is O over H, so that means it is going to be 5 over 13. The cosine of angle A is the A over H, so that's the adjacent over the hypotenuse. That would be 12 over 13. And the tangent of A is the opposite over the adjacent. It's going to be 5 over 12. Now, when the angle changes, if they're asking me to look at the sine, cosine, and tangent of angle C, then my theta becomes angle C here, and the 12 is now the opposite, and the 5 is the adjacent. So the sine of angle C, once again, it's opposite over hypotenuse. My new opposite across from angle C is 12 over the hypotenuse, which is 13. Cosine is A over H, so that's going to be 5 over 13. And the tangent is going to be opposite over adjacent, so that is 12 over 5. Now, when we look at number 2, it's slightly different because I'm only given 2 sides of the triangle. I'm given 9 and 12. That means I have to find the hypotenuse. And to do that, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. That's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is the hypotenuse, so that's what I'm trying to find. And then A and B would be 9 and 12. So we're going to fill in 9 squared plus 12 squared equals C squared. That's 81 plus 144 equals C squared. 81 plus 144 is 225. And since it's squared, we need to take the square root. That means C is equal to 15. My hypotenuse is 15. Now that we have all three sides, I can find the sine, cosine, and tangent. So I have W. That's going to be my theta. Across from my theta, that's my opposite side. And next to my theta is my adjacent side. So let's fill these in real quick. The sine of W would be 12 over 15. The cosine of W would be A over H. That is 9 over 15. And the tangent of W is O over A. So that's 12 over 9. Now I want you guys to take a minute. I want you to fill out the sine, cosine, and tangent of angle X. So go ahead and pause the video, and you guys try to fill out these three answers. All right, so I hope you guys got those right. We're going to look at number 3 now. Number 3, again, I'm only given two sides, so I need to use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out this side, this missing side right there. So we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And C squared has to be the hypotenuse, so it has to be 34. And then we can fill in 16 for A. So 16 squared, might need a calculator, but that is 256. And 34 squared is 1156. So I'm going to subtract 256 on both sides because I'm trying to get B squared by itself. Then I get B squared equals 900. I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and we get B is 30. So this missing side is 30. Now that we have the missing side, why don't you guys try to pause the video and fill out the problems down here at the bottom, okay? So we're going to try to find the sine, cosine, and tangent of L. So L is going to be my theta. Across from L is my opposite side, and next to L is my adjacent side. So the sine is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse, 30 over 34. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's 16 over 34. And tangent is opposite over adjacent, so that is 30 over 16. Then we have angle M. That is where I'm going to put my new theta. Remember, across from the angle that we're using is my opposite side, and next to it would be my adjacent side. So the 16 and 30 they switch. All right. So the sine now is 16 over 34. The cosine is 30 over 34. And the tangent is 16 over 30.